The 2010s decade will be over in 4 months. What do you think people will remember this decade for?
From a design/aesthetic standpoint, minimalism/flat design, mostly due to the rise of tablets and browsing the internet on mobile devices. Clean lines, simple colors like black, white and gray. TV commercials, early 2010s ads are backed by upbeat xylophone/triangle/whistling/hand clapping music, or people breakdancing or doing the worm to obnoxious dubstep music. The late 2010s have vivid colors and imagery, vaporwave-style aesthetics, and loud over-the-top spokespeople talking fast in the middle of the screen. Think Captain Obvious from the Hotels.com commercials or Terry Crews from the Old Spice commercials. Entering a new golden age of automotive design. Almost every new car from the decade is elaborately styled. Car interiors with angular, intricate dashboards, like the Ford Escape, Chevy Equinox or Hyundai Santa Fe. This might end in the 2020s as crash safety technology requires more new cars to look the same, and car interiors will replace dashboards and gauges with touch screens. Thanks, Tesla. A move away from chain restaurants and the rise of food trucks and locally owned restaurants that all feature string lighting, outdoor tables with giant Jenga blocks, Edison bulbs, and a craft beer selection written on a chalkboard. All houses are painted in that greige color and have all-white kitchens with that same white subway tile backsplash. There is probably a barn door, shiplap accent wall, and a fiddle leaf fig inside.
Greater than a move away from chain restaurants and the rise of food trucks and locally owned restaurants that all feature string lighting, outdoor tables with giant Jenga blocks, Edison bulbs, and a craft beer selection written on a chalkboard. In big cities, that is true. In smaller communities, chain restaurants are more prevalent than ever before. In southern Ontario, communities that had no Tim Hortons a decade ago but had a locally owned mom-and-pop coffee shop or diner now have Tim Hortons. Brighton, Ilderton, and Kamoka are just 3 of those towns. It's very hard to find locally owned businesses in smaller communities nowadays, at least in Canada.
I don't like this realization.
The 90s are soon 30 years ago.
Just think, 30 years before the 90s was the 60s.
Yup. Nirvana's Nevermind album was released closer in time to the first moon landing than to today. Edit, wow. I go pick up the kids from school and come back to kaboom. Sorry everyone for the bucket of water to the face. I'm 47 and I'm right there with you all. And you know what, other than those random days, when I wake up injured for no damn reason, getting old while riding this crazy ball of dirt is a lot of fun. Some days you'll eat the bear, and some days it will eat you. Just roll with it, man. And thanks for the gold.
You stop that.
If that 70s show was rebooted today, it would be set in 1997.
From a video game standpoint, this is the decade of the indie explosion, esports, battle royales and microtransactions. From a cinematic standpoint, this is the age of superheroes. Comic book movies dominated in the last decade, and they are not going anywhere anytime soon.
I think we'll eventually look back at superhero movies the way that we look back at cowboy movies.
Cowboy movies are still kick-ass.
The horrific turn the Area 51 raid took, resulting in hundreds dead and the unleashing of angry captive aliens upon the world to exact their revenge on humanity. Don't forget the military being defeated by swarms of Naruto runners, leading to new arms limitation treaties banning the use of the Naruto run in any armed conflict.
They also banned anime as a result, which caused weebs to flood the streets of Washington, waifu body pillows in hand, and Shinzo Abe to publicly cut all ties with the United States. No one could have predicted the butterfly effect of what ensued following the Area 51 raid. This will be in history books, if we survive that long under our new alien overlords. On the bright side, the aliens disguised as humans finally revealed their identities as a result. Elon Musk was no surprise, but I think we can all agree no one was expecting Todd Howard to be one, opening up a lot of questions about the true nature of Skyrim.
The social media explosion.
And the 20s will be the implosion. We're already sick of ourselves.
It's going to be so weird saying the 20s.
I kind of hope that pinstripe suits and flapper dresses make a comeback.
It's going to be a decade of people hosting roaring 20s theme parties.
I can live with that.
And with any luck I'll be dead by the time we get back to the 70s.
People are gonna reminisce about how good the 2010s were. They may not seem good now, but just wait to see what the 20s have in store for you. Edit, I hate being right.
Oh no.
cool_8_man.png.
Oh crap. Greater than my generation is going to be known for wanting to die and memes. Guess we can replace generation for decade.
We're the doomer generation, not the millennials. Or maybe that's Gen Z. It's all a mess right now.
Doomer generation Lamau.
Boomers to doomers to zoomers.
The incredible rise of misinformation and irresponsible knee-jerk reaction choices on very serious topics.
We did it, Reddit.
Looking forward to this thread being unearthed in 2029. Smile, I hope y'all are doing better than us.
2029 seems like 100 years away, but 2009 to now flew. I hope I'm done college by then and have a job, or I'll be in some trouble lol.
I wonder if there's an Ask Reddit thread about the same topic from 2009.
The meme renaissance.
Chapter 7. Memes were the quintessential millennial mode of expression, akin to the hieroglyphics of Egypt and the cuneiform tablets of Sumer. Early 21st century internet savants populated their Facebook feeds with fan favorites such as lolcats and Velociraptor. As the trend caught on, memes diversified and developed, getting adopted by such institutions as politics, academia, and postmodern avant-garde expressionism. As memes became more sophisticated, so too did their influence over society. The charged political landscape ignited a trend of weaponizing them for political use, culminating into the bloody meme wars of 2028.
At the rate memes are evolving, the meme wars will begin way sooner than 2028.
Try like 3 years ago. Memes are already a form of political warfare at this point.
Begun. The meme wars have.
Social media, influencers. Netflix/streaming. It was available before 2010, but didn't get reliable until after swipe dating apps. The word online dating and dating sites are now swapped with the phrases dating apps. Obama/Trump.
People will remember social media, but I have a very strong feeling nobody's going to give a shit about these influencers anymore in the future.
That's crazy that she couldn't even sell 36 t-shirts, but the end of the article kind of explains where she went wrong. Seems like she just didn't put much effort into it. A lot of them think their shit is gold and 2 million followers equals all they need, but a minority of them know their followers and understand how to make a brand and market it properly.
I'm following them for their bikini pics. TBH, if they're selling something, I'll usually skip those stories. Except when they're wearing a bikini, when I'd watch it in mute. Surprised advertisers didn't realize that.
The death of traditional media. Printed newspapers and periodicals, broadcast television and radio are fading. And while digital music way predates the 2010s, it took until this decade for pop stars to stop selling albums. They aren't tallying CD sales anymore, they're counting unique streams.
Their death will be in the 20s. They were still huge in the 10s, but began losing their revenue and popularity. I feel the final nail will come sometime around the halfway point.
Real headlines trying to outdo The Onion.
That's never going to happen. The Onion headline about the president causing a controversy by drawing on a map with a Sharpie still cracks me up.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you.
Papa Donnie's going to make everything okay. I mean, he scared the hurricane from approaching Alabama. Right. That's why it turned north and totally didn't even head in the direction of the Gulf. Right.
We've been at war for 18 fucking years.
Yeah, some kids who were born after 9/11 can enlist in the army now.
We actually have one in my unit, and we're currently deployed.
I just realized none of our kids, one of whom is 18, have lived in a country that was not at war. Holy fuck.
Well, it could be worse. We could be having World War III. Wait, it's standing right behind me, isn't it?
World War III would take a resource disaster or Iran/Israel fucking up really bad to happen, so I think we are good for at least another decade.
The rise of the smartphone. Everyone has access to the internet and can voice their opinion towards the world at any moment with all the negative effects that it brings.
Imho, this is the biggest one. The iPhone came out in what, 2007? It was a solid year or two before you had traction there. Now, Phones have pretty much replaced most people's home computers for menial tasks.
I'll tell you this, 2012 was the year the majority of the internet users were on phones, and not laptops or desktops, so the 2010s is def the year where the smartphones changed everything. Suddenly kids and old people and tech-illiterate people came to the internet and it's changed everything.